Well, apparently my writing has caused quite the buzz online with After a While, which is funny because I started that project back in, shoot, 2013, 2014, 2000, probably like 2012, 2013 is when I started writing After a While. And I have been adding to it as I have progressed through life. It started as it was actually inspired by a poem, which I have upstairs in my scrapbooking supplies by a woman. I can't remember her name, but her name is Veronica. I'll have to link it somewhere. But I started writing that back in, was it actually, it's published in my book, Chasing the Red. Actually, it's published on Amazon, as a matter of fact. Um, it's also published on mycollegepal.com and was the fourth most emailed article on the website. Now, people are taking me reciting my own poetry every day, and as I write and add to it, as though this is all new information and stuff that I just wrote, even though there's some that I did add, which you guys saw as you were watching my computer and meddling on my devices illegally, and because no one's supposed to see what I'm able to do on my electronic devices. Anyways, but that has been standalone published back in 2014 in the book Chasing the Red, available on Amazon. And a lot of the things that I've been reciting from that work was already written during that time when it was published in 2014. Now, there are things that I've added to it because I consider it my living work. I consider it a living work because I have lived damn near, well, almost 45 years on this planet. And I have a unique perspective that I share from my own personal experience, my own life. People are reading it as though, oh, it's excuses, it's this, it's that. You're interpreting it in any other direction than what, and then reading it for face value. Everybody assumes that there's some sort of weird, ulterior, nefarious, the reason behind why I write what I write. People assume that if I write a story, Ursula, people were assuming that that character was based on somebody I know, and in all actuality, the inspiration came from Jason Momoa, which I began that story back in 2016, 2018, I think, and had nothing to do with anybody. And I picked up that story again and started writing it. And for the record, I wrote a story also published on Amazon called The Courtesan, about sirens. And the story Ursula also has elements of sirens. I love sirens. I think they're cool. There's no other reason for it. I like sirens. I wrote a story and it got published. It's called originally published by was it Dark Wish Anthologies, I think. I can't remember. No, Enchanted Anthologies. That's what it was. Enchanted Anthologies. And it was in the intertwined anthology called Siren's Lullaby. And I wrote that back in 2019. So people are going off on me about what I write. And it is any excuse under God to hate me. It's any excuse under God to hate me. Have I made mistakes in my life? Yes. Do I have toxic traits? Yes, everyone does. Everyone does. I have a metric fuck ton of trauma. A lot of shit that I've dealt with in my life. And I'm using my own perspective and reflecting upon my experiences and writing down objectively what I have learned from it. I choose to share it online because maybe someone else can learn too. See, people misunderstand intention. People assume that my intention is nefarious or there's some underlying meaning or underlying hidden motive. No. Like there's a poem that I wrote years and years ago, and I happened to write it during a relationship that I was in. But being the artist that I am, I can look at my artwork and not be attached to it. I can read my poem that I wrote for a guy years ago, and I can still be fucking proud of it because damn, that turned out awesome. It turned out badass. And if I recite that poem, people assume, oh, she says hidden feelings. No, it's a piece of artwork that I created. It's mine. It's no one else's because it came from me. It came from me. And I've been learning a lot throughout this experience. A lot. I'm gonna shut the door. Learned a lot from this experience of being, perpetually surveillanced for years on end and done so publicly without my consent. And people will look at what I write, and if they're viewing me from the lens of someone who hates me, they're going to see as everything that I do and say has ulterior negative connotations. They twist my words to fit their narrative. Instead of looking at it as she is reciting her perspective of her own personal experience as she is living it. And it has nothing to do with anybody else except what I have experienced. Now, one thing that you need to learn is that wisdom can be found even in dark places, even from people you would least expect. And to ignore truth and wisdom based on personal bias is cheating yourself out of a lesson that you could be learning, a lesson from my own personal experience, because whether you guys like it or not, I am the only one on this side of the camera. Whether you like it or not, I am the only person that is experiencing things on my end. There's no one else here except me. You guys are on the other side of the camera, where you guys get to see the chat and everything else that goes along with it. You guys have I'm just wondering what the hell it was that I said in my what I wrote that pissed people off. If my writing strikes a nerve and pisses people off, then maybe there's a kernel of truth in that you guys don't want to face. And it's not excuses. It's observation and personal reflection. It's how I view some people. It's how I've experienced life. And it's only from my perspective. So, yeah, some of you aren't going to get it. Why? Because you're not on this side. You're not experiencing these things as I'm experiencing them. Why? Because you're not the one who has all of their devices fucked with, infiltrated, and projecting en masse across the internet. And if anybody gets pissed off and says, well, oh, I'm going to sue you, Jules, because bloody, bloody, bloody. Well, guess what? If you do, you have to note where the hell you found this, and you have to reference it. You have to have the proof, a proof that I am currently lacking. And that is where on God's green earth is this streaming online? This personal video that I'm posting online right now is posted to my own personal channel on YouTube, Just Jules, because that's all I am, is Just Jules. Anything other than that is being posted anywhere other than, anything that I say during the day. If it's not posted on Just Jules, my YouTube account, it is unauthorized access of my information and unauthorized surveillance, unauthorized uploading of my personal private life. Period. And I will write what I write because it's my words, it's my thoughts, it's my emotions, my feelings, my everything, my experience. And my experience is going to be different than that of anybody else's. So, in that respect, it is what it is. The thing is that people have been smear campaigning me for years. People have been raking my name and raking my reputation through the mud for years. And it began, I don't know when it began. And so if anybody is going to come after me in any way, you have to provide the link to where you found this online, where you found whatever it I said online that pertains to you. And you have to provide that to the judge. And the thing is, I don't know this information because nobody has told me. Of all these years that this has been going on, no one has told me where this is located online, where I'm being streamed at outside of my Just Jules channel. I'm not talking about this channel where this video is going to be posted. I have full control over that. I get to decide what I upload and what I don't. Anything other than that is not uploaded by me. It's not streamed by me. I have zero access to whatever profile, whatever social media, whatever dark web bullshit people have put me on. No fucking clue. I have a total of 0 clues as to how many people have watched me. No clue. None. And people keep on refusing to tell me this information so I can put a stop to it. No one's told me. And it's been going like this for years. And I was living life and people were watching me get naked and everything else for years before I even knew. So people are taking my philosophies and taking a personal offense to them. Then that message isn't for you. Easy. Just like you guys always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't resonate with you and in fact pisses you off, then maybe you should take a good long hard look at yourself. Because if it's striking a nerve and you're getting pissed off at me for it, then I might have said something correct. If people are all up in arms about that, about a perspective of my own experience, and no one gets to tell me or dictate what my experience is. What my experience is every time I go on my phone, it is a group chat. My phone, my tablet, my computer, my Roku TV, all infiltrated. All my writing, I can write my books, and it's everybody reads it as I'm writing it without my permission. The only thing people have permission to see of me is what I upload to this very channel, Just Jules. The rest of it, you don't have permission to see any of that or hear any of that. You never did. That's the shitty part about this. And the even shittier part is that I've called and reported this, asked for it to stop, and it hasn't. I've called the sheriff's department, the FBI. I've called the state boys. No one will do anything. They don't care. And people have gotten away with saying a whole lot of shit about me, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. So I stopped caring. And so I'm living my life and doing what I do, and I'm writing what I write, whether you like it or not. If you're taking offense over things that, I mean, I'm not writing for you. I'm writing for me. I'm writing objectively from my own experiences. And if that's something, what I wrote is something that you've never experienced and you take offense to it, then it's not something for you. It's not a message for you. It might be a message for somebody else who may have experienced something like that. Because there are people out there who don't, some people feel lost. See, I'm not. Nobody can diagnose me because I went a couple months where I dissected my own brain. And I wrote down all of the symptoms and all of the qualities of all of the mental health issues that make up my alphabet soup that I got going on upstairs. And I sat and I made the correlations. I went so far as doing all of my mental health issues, plus my INFJ personality type, plus my the characteristics of being a Scorpio, and I dissected my own brain. My autism, the BPD, the PTSD, the ADHD, all of it. I went through and did all of it. That's why nobody can tell me who I am. And nobody can tell me that I'm not confident, because I am. I'm confident in my ability to write and to communicate. Although I do have my struggles because, well, I can't tell when anybody's hitting on me, for instance, or social cues and shit that go under my radar. And a lot of things that I don't get. A lot of things, subliminal messages. I mean, imagine yourself sitting there in a group chat that is your phone. It's not a phone, it's a group chat. And you have to dissect all these subliminal messages coming from people on this group chat and information filtered through third parties, and people expect you to be omniscient and know everything. That's not how this works. Not how it works. I get misunderstood just as much as I misunderstand. I'm not perfect. But I'm not going to apologize for my creative work. I'm not going to apologize for my perspective. I am not going to apologize for my philosophies of how I have experienced getting smear campaigned to death. Or at least the attempt to smear campaign me to death. People are going to say what they want, regardless of what I say, regardless of what I do, regardless of whatever I write. Is it true or false? Does Julie get inspiration from other people for her stories? In certain times, yes. Are my fictional characters entirely fictional? Yes. I've read my stories on my YouTube channel, and I've had people try to say, oh, she can't look at herself. Like, for instance, there's the story I wrote for the anthology Asylum, and someone's went off somewhere and says, oh, she can't even look herself in the mirror. All because I wrote a story back in 2019 that I decided to read and upload after it was published years later. And suddenly people are assuming that everything that I do, say, write has an alternate meaning instead of looking at me as a human fucking being, an individual, and not everything has to do with you. I don't live for other people. I don't write for other people. I write for me. And if me sharing my work helps somebody out there, cool. If not, then it's not for you. Easy. So people are going to hate and whatever. People are going to hate. I've gotten accused of horrendous shit. I've had my words twisted. I've had my, I wouldn't be too surprised if AI has been used to morph my voice or create images of me that is bullshit. People are bound and determined to see me as the bad guy. Okay, if I'm the villain in your story, then I'm the villain in your story. Okay, moving on. That's not going to stop me from breathing. It's not going to stop me from writing. I'm going to continue to write, and how you interpret it is how you interpret it. And the problem that I have seen throughout this entire experience is no one has bothered to ask me any questions or clarify anything. Instead of coming up to me and saying, hey, Jules, I had a question about what you said the other day about this, and this. What did you mean by that? Nothing. Or, Julie, hey, what you said really hurt my feelings. This is exactly what you said that hurt my feelings. Can you please correct that behavior and let's move forward? Okay, that's doable. That's easy. Why? Because you are addressing something that I did that hurt you. And by addressing it, I have the ability then to correct that behavior so it doesn't happen again. But the problem is that nobody wants to come up to me and say those things. Instead, they want to show a link on my feed or a subliminal message that I have to dissect, turn around in my head, translate, that I may or may not be accurate in that translation. So yes, there is going to be a margin of error on my part during this entire situation. There is room for human error. Human error. Just like you guys misunderstand me, you guys are expecting me to be perfect. Sorry, folks, I am not striving for perfection just for you. I'm doing my best with what I've got, with the cards I've been dealt. Here's the thing. The cameras were installed years before I even knew about them. And I was watched under heavy surveillance for years without even knowing it. And it was broadcast online for years, and I had no idea. No permission, no consent, completely trampling over my civil rights and my basic human rights. And I know a lot of you are on the background going, well, but you did this, Jules, but you said that, Jules. I did the best I could with the situation. It's the whole radical acceptance thing. There's nothing I could do about it. I did my part to make it stop. I called and reported this. I have sent messages to the feds. I have talked to the sheriff's department. I have talked to the state boys, and nobody wants to do anything about it. And so me living my everyday life, day-to-day life, and you happen to overhear shit and you spread it online and then you make it about somebody else, or you make it about something else. Okay. I have to live with that because there's not a fucking thing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do to make this stop. And relying on somebody else to give me the link to this so I can have it shut down is a moot point. Because nobody's going to. I'm already well aware nobody's going to. I didn't ask for this. This was thrust on me. This was forced on me. I didn't have a choice in the beginning. And I've had to learn to live with it. And I did my level best to report this crime. And it is not my fault that I'm still getting eavesdropped on and illegally surveilled and broadcasted online. I am not in control of that. Somebody else is. And since nobody wants to give me this information, there's not much I can do. And I'd like to know what I'm being accused of. And I have a right to face my accuser. People hear rumors and take it as fact. I'm guilty of the same. I've had people come on my feed and mislead me. Moment I realize it, I apologize. I have no problem apologizing. Zero problem. But I'm not going to apologize for my perspective or for my creativity. I don't have to apologize for my creativity or the way I view things because it's my own personal perspective, my own personal experience as I have experienced it. And no one else is on this side of the camera except me. No one else is translating or forcibly forced to translate subliminal YouTube messages, or my Temu, products are representative of other people and not pertaining to my likes or interests. It's all to do with everyone else on the phone that I pay for, on the phone that I've paid for, on the internet that I have paid for, on the computer that I bought, on the TV that I bought, on the tablet that I bought. Everything that's owned by me is controlled by an outside source. And you are told what to think of me due to a bunch of shit. When this shouldn't have happened in the first place. None of this should have been happening. No one had the right to invade my personal space, let alone put me and my naked body online for the world to see. No one had that right. Period. They have right to privacy for a reason. And this is precisely the reason why it's important, why we have the right to privacy. It's to protect people from this sort of thing happening because it affects not only the person, but everyone that's surrounding the person as well. And it causes irreparable damage, not only to me, but to the people around me. And yes, I think out loud. Yes, I write in my journal while people read over my shoulder. And that was never meant to be read by anybody but people of my choice. And I never decided or chose anybody to be reading over my shoulder or reading anything that I write. Nobody. Nobody has that right. So, I don't know what all is being said right now. I'm not sure what's going on, but people are obviously upset over something that I wrote. Obviously, it pissed people off. But if it struck a nerve with you and you're mad at me for it, you're getting mad at me for my feelings. You're getting mad at me for my perspective and how I have experienced the way people have treated me. There might be somebody who can relate somewhere. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. And the thing is that people assume, oh, she's power hungry. It's like, dude, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be blasted across the internet. I didn't ask for any position of power. I am not power hungry. I don't even know how many people watch me, for fuck's sake. The only reason why I have an idea. I mean, I'd like to think it's only a few hundred. That's where my mind is. I'd like to think it's only a couple hundred people, because I don't know how many. None. Zero. But the sole purpose was the reason why people invaded my privacy in the first place was control and revenge. And this person or people work together with other people to make it happen. So, I have a right to face my accuser. So if you guys would like to step forward and own it, that would be greatly appreciated. And to those of you watching, please provide me the link to this so I can have it shut down, because I never asked for this from the go. This was something that was literally thrust upon me against my will. Against my will. And nobody had the right to do that. And nobody has the right to say, oh, you're power hungry and you're self-centered, you're this, you're that. And it's just like, dude, I never asked for this. I never asked to be put on the internet. I never asked for my naked image to be passed around. I didn't ask for any position. The only thing I ever really wanted was love. It's the only thing I ever wanted. Just one person that I could love that would love me back. And every time anybody came close, something always happened that put a monkey wrench in it. I'm not going to sit here and yell and scream and holler and pitch a big fit and stuff. It is what it is. But I didn't ask for this. And I sure shit didn't deserve it either. Nobody deserves their privacy invaded. Nobody. Now I'm going to put this on my own YouTube channel. My own YouTube channel, the Just Jules channel. Anything outside of the videos that I post on this channel is done so without my consent, my permission, and without my knowledge of what exactly is being posted. I've actually noticed that there might be a live stream. Sometimes I think there is. I've actually toyed with the idea that I am recorded in little snippets, and the little snippets are cut off and uploaded somewhere. People call this a job, but I did not apply to it. I didn't ask for it. I didn't want it. This isn't a job, people. This isn't work. This is my life. This is not entertainment. This is my life. It's not a perfect one. And I've made a whole shitload of mistakes in it. But it's mine. And it sucks. Because the people, not only do I owe apologies, I am owed apologies. And whoever put these cameras in my house and started this site, wherever it is, that person or group of people owe each and every person that this has affected an apology. Why? Because it started with people invading my privacy and thinking that they were God over my life. and that they had even a remote right to invade my space. And I can tell when I'm starting to be recorded because I'll hear a snap in my headphones. Click. It's interesting. It's like clicking noise. Also, when I'm sometimes my computer will have a seizure. Like it'll flash on and off. It would do that. I don't know why this has gone on as long as it has. There's been a lot of theories over the years that MK Ultra, I've heard, vengeful X who wanted to control me, which I have an idea on who that is. Or who that could possibly, potentially, allegedly be. I should correct myself. That people are going to say and do things. People are going to try and put me in competition with other people. I'm past the point of caring. Past the point of caring. And if I want to scroll my phone, I will scroll my phone. I pay for it. I pay the bill every month. I pay it every month for me to scroll on my phone, not for other people to play on it. Not for other people to play on it. So before you guys go off saying, oh, she's power hungry, she's got a big head, she's this, she's that, keep in mind that I never wanted this from the go. And that this began without even my knowledge or my consent from the go. And it took a couple years before I was able to be flagged down, before a group of people online flagged me down and told me that this was going on. And as soon as I found out that it was going on, I immediately went to the police and law enforcement and spoke out against it. And still to this day, years later, nothing's happening. Nothing's been done. And I'm still the villain. By any excuse and any means necessary, up to and including twisting my words to make me sound like something that I'm not. So, you guys have fun with that. Have fun. Bye.